Matt here again from Chunky's Reviews. I'm pretty much here right after my review for Suicide Squad. I just wanted to do a spoiler video to touch up on the negatives that I had and just do a bit more, in-depth analysis of what I thought of the film. That said, guys, spoilers. Spoilers. I never do spoilers in my regular reviews. So if you haven't seen Suicide Squad, go watch that one. There's really nothing to spoil in there. I intentionally kept it vague just for you guys. So I hope you enjoy that one. For those that have seen it, relax, enjoy, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get started. I'm rambling. Okay. Firstly, guys, the things that I didn't like, if you saw my review, you would have noticed I didn't mention the villain. The villain was the Enchantress, and her brother. Now, the problem with the Enchantress was, and I didn't want to mention it because they set her up to be a member of this Suicide Squad, in the sense that they have her heart. So if she really does go astray, that's the way of killing her, which is kind of smart. So when she does go astray, they stab, Amanda Waller stabs her heart and whatever, but then she gets the powers from her brother. Now, the problem here, number one, the fact that she had a brother was just introduced in a split-second scene through a doll. Oh shit, brother, I found you. You had no idea that she even had a brother. There was no motivation. There was no explanation for the fact that she wanted to do this all along. It just kind of stated that she was trapped in this cave and someone found her, so that she took the body of... I can't remember the character's name. I'll put it in the captions below somewhere. Yeah, so when the brother came along, he was just a bland character. She possessed some random guy anyway to take control of him. It wasn't someone that we could associate with someone that, if she had possessed someone that we were, had a connection with, then we would have been able to associate, the fact that we needed to not only go and stop the Enchantress, but also save someone else. And there is that within the Enchantress, as that's Rick Flag's girlfriend, the character that I mentioned before. I can't remember her name at the time of this video. So Rick Flag's girlfriend is pretty much possessed by the Enchantress. So the Enchantress is taken off with her body and kind of, out to take over the world, create that army or whatever, pretty much just take over the world. It's a simple motivation for a character, and that's why it's not really, developed that much, because it just is, villains just want to take over the world. That's what they do. Another problem I had was with Amanda Waller. There's a specific scene. So they're going into the city not only to stop the Enchantress, but to save a VIP. You find out that when they go into the city, Amanda Waller is actually still there, and they've gone in to rescue her as well. The problem is, that scene where Amanda Waller's in that room there, just talking to Rick Flag. So Rick Flag makes the Suicide Squad wait outside, and he goes into this room, and he's talking to Amanda Waller, they don't know that you're here, blah, blah, blah. They don't know that you're doing this to them, whatever. And then she's shutting down all the stuff ready to go. She's got about 5 workers in the room with her, and she just caps them all. She just shoots them all. They're her co-workers, yeah? They got FBI jackets on. They're like the real shit. So he asks, why'd you do that? And she goes, oh, well, they weren't at a clearance to, they weren't on a need-to-know basis. They weren't cleared for this information. Why didn't you have people cleared for this information working with you? They're in the room around all this information, but they're not cleared to take it out of the room. So what was going to happen if nothing went wrong? You're just going to kill them all anyway? That doesn't make any sense. And Rick Flag's like, why'd you do that, blah, blah, blah. And you got that moment where Deadshot walks down the stairs and he's saying, oh, you think we're the bad guys. That right there is just a simple way to make the good guys look even worse than the bad guys. So you look at the bad guys and in comparison, they're not too bad. And it's just, you don't need to force those moments in there. We had moments with Deadshot, with his daughter. We had moments in there with Harley Quinn, with the Joker. These characters have heart. They have motivation. They have a human past. With Diablo, with his family, he murdered his wife pretty much by accident. And his family, he has remorse. These characters are humans at heart, and we should let that be the reason why we enjoy them and why we appreciate them. Don't force us in the face trying to make the good guys worse. They're supposed to be good guys for a reason. It's all backwards, and it doesn't make sense, and it just feels really forced in there. Another problem I had was Killer Croc. I really like Killer Croc as a villain, and he was sidelined. He just kind of had the, yeah, He had those one-line comments. He didn't really have any proper development. You saw him introduced. He was in the Suicide Squad beating up people, and that was kind of the end of it. He didn't really have much to give. Not that the movie really gave him much anyway. Another problem I had was the ending scene. The fact that, the Enchantress is there taking over the world, got that portal up in the sky, like she's trying to, resurrect her brother. She's trying to I think it was Get Her Heart Back, something like that. She's trying to do all this stuff, and they just stop it by throwing a bomb into the portal. That's it. Just a C4 bomb. Bang. That's it. Wherever. So simple. Like, there was no creativity there, and they could have done so much more with that ending, especially because a couple minutes before that there was some decent action getting to that point. So I was actually pumped. I was thinking, all right, good, now they've gotten this far and they've held my interest and they've really, kept it tight as far as action goes, but now they're just going to throw it away with this stupid ending. However, guys, I did have some positives as far as spoilers go. Diablo's setup, I think it was good. I think there was a reason why he didn't want to use his powers. Obviously, he accidentally killed his family. So there was some genuine remorse, and it was something relatable because, everyone can relate to making a mistake and not wanting to go to their bad place again. And I think that's really important. The fact that, they had a character that wasn't as crazy as the rest of them, that actually tried to keep his head in check. As well as that, guys, the Batman scenes, I broke fun of it at the start of, my Suicide Squad review, but he wasn't in it as much. He's just a cameo. I wasn't expecting anything else from him, but I am looking forward to Batman in the future. I really like Ben Affleck. I'm really surprised. I think that just his presence in this film was enough to really get me excited for what is coming up. So look, I am excited for DC films in the future. Like I said in my Suicide Squad review, this film was still okay. It was burdened by problems. A couple other problems with the soundtrack. There's a lot of good songs in the intro that kind of set up each character in their own way. But then there were like songs like Black Skinhead. And the funny thing is, the kid in me gets so excited because I love that song and I love the moment. Deadshot's shooting all this shit. He's hitting all these targets. Bang, bang, bang. It's such a fast-paced, scene. You got Kanye West in the background. Shit's going down. But there's no reason apart from, oh, this looks cool, to have that song in there. So there's no substance. It is what was the problem with the soundtrack. But then again, then there was Harley Quinn's sections where she's dancing in her cell, and she's, You Don't Own Me is playing in the background. It's something to do with the character, so it's relatable. It doesn't have much to do with making the film more stylized. It has something to do about what the character, is saying to the audience. And that's something that, I really picked up on. Some of the songs worked and some didn't. Some were just there for style. Style has no substance. So at the same time, a good chunk of superhero films give you substance as well as style. And the style's not forced in your face. It's just having colors and camera angles and shooting action properly. That's style on its own. As far as the style with this film, I liked the fact that they forced these neon colors and intros and titles and this and that in your face. But at the end of the day, it did become a bit disjointed when the editing of the film was also abrupt. So we're looking at, the Enchantress and what she's doing. Then we're looking at the Suicide Squad trying to get there. Then you've got the Joker, and he's a whole different, whole different part of this film. And then you've got the flashbacks. So we're going to the Enchantress. Then we're going to the Suicide Squad. Then we're going to what the Joker's doing. Then we're going to the flashbacks. Then we're going back to the Joker. Then we're going back to the Suicide Squad. And then they see something, so they have a flashback. And then the Joker. And then, oh wait, the Enchantress is still here. You've got so much going on at the same time, and you're editing all these different places in a 2-hour film, and it's a bit too much to tackle, and it kind of crumbles under its own weight, much like Batman vs Superman did. Batman vs Superman didn't have the same style, so this style is more visually entertaining, so you don't really notice it. You're paying attention to all the sounds and the pretty colors and the action, so it doesn't disrupt as much as you think it would. But if you're paying attention like me, then you do notice that there's some kind of disjointed aspect to this film. But in saying that, guys, I'm going to wrap up this review. I've been going for too long as it is. Thank you for watching, guys. Like I said, I stand by the okay watch in my review. This film does have some positives. I did enjoy parts of this movie. It's not as bad as everyone says it is. Don't get me wrong. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, it's Matt from Chunky's Reviews. I hope to see you soon.